Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, February 22nd, 2012, the birthday of George Washington, the father of our nation. Tom Bolt, the head of the Performance Directorate at Lloyd's, has come down on the plan to start charging contingent commissions. A number of brokers have been talking about this recently, most specifically Willis is going to start charging contingent commissions again on certain lines of business later this year. Mr. Bolt issued an explicit warning at Lloyd's, reminding people at Lloyd's that they must adhere to the UK's Bribery Act, and he's going to insist that from next month managing agents must consider a series of specific questions before making additional payments to brokers, including contingent fees. A market bulletin from Bolt urges managing agents to adopt, quote, a very cautious and rigorous approach to compliance with the Bribery Act, which came into effect last year. Bolt has warned that the payment of additional fees, charges, or commissions or brokerage outside ordinary range raises concerns that the additional payment may be seen as inducing or influencing a broker to act against the client's best interests. The bulletin contains a list of specific questions on the motivation for paying extra fees to brokers that Lloyd's expects its syndicates to consider. The UN nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, left Tehran this morning empty-handed. Their latest mission to talk to the Iranians about the so-called secret atomic weapons research was a failure. In a defiant response, the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, said that Iran's nuclear policies would not change despite mounting pressure from the West. He said, with God's help and without paying attention to propaganda, our nuclear course should continue. Elections in Iran are scheduled for March 2nd. It's expected that supporters of Khamenei are going to win. The biggest insurer in Australia came out with their 6-month cat bill of 389 million Australian dollars, contributing to a decline in profits by 45%. This is for the first half of the 2012 Australian year. They still made 162 million Australian dollars, but more than half of the cat claims, about 234 million Australian, relate to the carrier's exposure to the Christmas Day hailstorms in Melbourne. David Brown, Flagstone Re's CEO, said that they're making significant progress with the sale of its Lloyd's and Island Heritage businesses, with a short list of unnamed purchasers engaged in ongoing discussion. It wasn't that long ago that we reported their successful startups of both businesses. Flagstone also reported a net loss of $326 million for last year. Mr. Brown said that the expected divestiture of the Lloyd's arm, Syndicate 1861, and the Caribbean property insurer domiciled in the Grand Caymans would lower Flagstone's gross written premium by about $300 million a year, with only minimal impact on the expected return on equity. The combined ratio for last year was 154%. The director of an oil refinery in Suez, Egypt, said that a massive fire broke out that was out of control for 3 hours earlier today, killing 4 workers. The union at the Frankfurt airport, that has caused big delays at Europe's 3rd largest airport, announced that as of the end of the 3rd shift today, they're going to end their strike. Talks are going to continue. Approximately 1,300 takeoffs and landings have been canceled as a result of this. President Obama is going to seek a 28% corporate tax rate, down from the current 35%. He wants an even lower effective tax rate for manufacturers. In turn, corporations would have to give up a number of loopholes they now enjoy. Corporations with overseas operations, take note of this, would also face a minimum tax on their foreign earnings. Now, last night at the White House, in a celebration of Black History Month, President Obama and his wife Michelle were entertained by the likes of B.B. King and Mick Jagger. The last time I checked, it's not an African American, but they were playing the blues, and Mr. Jagger managed to induce President Obama to stand up and sing. President Obama stood up and sang a few stanzas from an old Chicago blues song. With what's going on in the Republican primary, there's no wonder that this man is happy. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching.